All praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. All praises due. Peace and blessing to the elect of Israel who are out there practicing or following the law of liberty. I hope you're having a great day. It's Saturday, so you know I'm off today. It's a good day. I got some powerful stuff today, man. We're gonna get into some eschatology, end times, uh, man, a whole lot, man. Today we're gonna start out. We're gonna continue with our Lost Book series, and this is truly a gem. We're gonna get into the second book of Baruch. The second book of Baruch. Now let me tell you, man, this book right here is real powerful. Um, it really speaks about what we're going through today, end times. And the Most High is, in His infinite wisdom, man, He painted the picture of Israel from Adam all the way to the end. We know how it ends. He tells us. In this particular book, man, he really goes into detail on what the end times are going to look like and what we as the Israelites are going to be going through and experiencing and what the world is going to be going through. And Baruch, man, he was a prophet and a priest. And he really got a lot of revelation from the Most High. You know, he and Ezra, man, them two, Ezra is another one that got a lot of revelations. I can see why they didn't put this book into the 66 books. They kind of hid this book, man, because it has so much information and truth in it that, you know, when you get into it and you really start to study and read it, you know, I read through it. It's 87 chapters. A lot of them are kind of small. So for this particular series, second book of Baruch, I'm gonna probably break it up into like 4 videos. Like I said, try to keep the videos between. Man, I haven't been doing a good job. Try to keep between 15 and 20 minutes, but you know, I just get into the reading and it just gets so good. Sometimes I kind of go longer than I need to. But yeah, this one, the second book of Baruch, man, it really is a lot of information in here. So when you guys start to like listen to this video, you know, I hope you know go through it a couple times because it's a lot. Um, but anyway, eschatology, eschatology. Now, eschatology is the study of end time prophecy. Eschatology, that's what it means, the study of end time prophecy. So, this particular book really gets into it a lot. Trying to get myself together here, the reading stuff together here. But yeah, eschatology. I thought I had a definition. I was trying to find it for you guys. I think it's kind of important. Yeah, a branch of theology concerning with the final events in history and in the world of humankind. Eschatology. Eschatologa. A belief concerning death, the end of the world, or the ultimate destiny of humankind. So, you know, second coming, resurrection of the dead, last judgment. So that's kind of like what eschatology is. It's a branch of study of that. So Baruch really kind of goes into that. And I mean, some of the things that the Most High gives him, some of the revelations he gives him are really, you know, kind of mind blowing, man, you know. Um, but anyway, um, there's 3 books. You know, I didn't know that. I know we know Baruch. You know, that's in the Baruch is part of the Apocryphers. I'm gonna get into that later on. But I wanted to start out with the second Baruch. Then there's a third Baruch. There's 3 parts to Baruch. But I wanted to get into this one first. But let's get a little bit of background on him, on Baruch. He was a contemporary of Jeremiah the prophet. It's kind of like his right hand man. So I'm just gonna do a little reading, a little background, kind of skip around to kind of give you all a little flavor of who he was. Baruch, like Jeremiah, was from a priestly family, um, meaning a descendant of Aaron, brother of Moses, of the tribe of Levi. So he was a Levi. You know, the Levites were the priestly tribe. So that's why I said he was kind of like a priest and a prophet. And on the female side of Jeremiah and Baruch, they are descended from Rahab. Remember Rahab the harlot, the Canaanite lady who helped the Israelite conquer Jericho? So, so yeah. Hold on just a minute, y'all. Yeah, my phone was going. Okay. So yeah. So, uh, what else it says? Let me see. Let me see. Baruch is placed among the prophets Ezra and the scribe who later led the Jews back to the land of Judah and was who. So Ezra, the scribe who later led the Jews back to the land of Judah, he was a student of Baruch. And when Cyrus the king of Persia conquered Babylon and announced that the Jews could return to their land and rebuild the temple, Baruch could not travel. He was already too old. Got me some tea here for my voice. He was already too old and heavy at the time. You know, heavy means that his legs, you know, they just couldn't do it, man. So he couldn't go. And at the time, and needed to be carried around on a stretcher. So Baruch was an assistant of Jeremiah the prophet. He was the brother of Sarai, who was the chamberlain manager of the house of King Zedekiah of Judah. So, you know, he was kind of tapped in there with the king, too. And Baruch and Sarai among the they were both prophets, so his brother was a prophet, too, Sariah. And Baruch was a spokesman of Jeremiah. And he would take what the Most High gave to Jeremiah and he would read it out aloud in assembly, you know, because they wrote stuff down. Baruch would write stuff down that Jeremiah would get, and he would read it to the people. So he would deliver a lot of Jeremiah's messages. You know, he was considered, you know, partly responsible for, you know, spreading the unwelcome message of Jeremiah and was advised to flee together with Jeremiah and hide from the wrath of the king. Because they didn't like what, you know, he was saying, you know, what the Most High was giving them. And this was about the ultimate doom of Israel, and they were going to go back into captivity, you know, because they was just doing all kinds of wicked stuff, man. You know, like I say, man, we always get out of pocket as a people. You know, as long as we got our minds on the Most High, and, you know, we following, you know, the laws, you know, back in those days, you know, they were still under the law of Moses, you know, doing the law of Moses stuff, you know, at that time. As long as we, you know, did our sacrifices and, you know, and pretty much just, you know, focused on the Most High as our power, we were okay. But we always got sidetracked, you know, started doing what the heathens were doing. Wherever they was roundabout, you know, we wanted to get in the groove, man, and do what they was doing. And that's when we always got led away. We start worshiping their gods and their idols. And once we start doing that, the Most High, man, he turns us back. He turns his back on his people, man, because, you know, we out of pocket. So then he's got to punish us just like a child. A child is being belligerent. You know, keep being belligerent. You got to punish him. And that's kind of like how he treats us, man. You know, and you look at us now. We out of pocket again. That's why we've been in this hellhole for 400-500 years in this America. This is the, you know, this United States of America. We've been out of pocket. But now he has woken us up to who we are. Those that have been woken up. You know, now we know that we're Israel. We know who our power is. You know, we're focusing back on him. We're turning our hearts and our minds back on him. You know, and he's hearing us again, man. And he's going to bring us up out of here. He always has. He's going to bring us out of this, too. He's going to bring us out of this. There's no way we can get out of this mess ourselves. I don't care what we do. We don't have anything. We don't have no economic power. We don't have no political power. We're a broken people. We fight amongst each other. We can't get along. Our women don't respect the men. You know, the men don't have no respect for the women. The children don't respect the men or the women. You know, we just totally a destroyed people. We're at the bottom. All the other nations come in and just disrespect us. They ain't got no respect for us. We're at the bottom. There's no way possible we can get ourselves out of here. So all this economic empowerment and we got to work hard. We ain't tried that, man. We ain't tried that. The only way, just like when we were in Egypt, the only way that we're going to get out of this is the Most High bring us up out of this. That's how it's always worked with us. We're his chosen people. We're the true vine. We're the true branch. You know, he loves us, man. We're peculiar people. We are a special people. We're the only ones that are connected to the Most High. Israel, 12 tribes. We're special in his eye. So he ain't going to leave us like this long. And when we come out of this, man, he's going to turn us up. We're going to have our power back. He's going to be our power. And this whole world is going to change because right now, everybody's confederate against us. We have no friends. Black people in America, we have no friends whatsoever. No other nation, no other group of people are our friends. Yeah, they get along with us. They like what we do. They like what we bring to the table. You know, we create. We're very creative. We created all the music, you know, athletics, you know, science, you name it, man. We inventions, we done it. They just take it from us and make money. All these big corporations have gotten rich off of us. Everybody has gotten rich off of us. Everywhere we go, when we go into captivity, the particular nation that brings the Israelites into captivity, they rise to the forefront. They are power, economic power, because of the Israelites. Egypt, Babylon, Syria, Rome, Greece, everywhere we go. Even up in Europe, when we were the Moors, when we was up that way. Wherever we go, now look at the United States. The United States has risen to an economic power since we've been up in it. They've had us in captivity. No other nation has seen the kind of growth over the 100 years or so that the United States have from the 1700s to now. It's been truly, truly remarkable how strong this nation has gotten. And it's all because of us. Wherever the Most High's people are, that particular nation rises to the top. And also, when the Most High releases us, when he releases us from their grip, they fall. A terrible fall. A terrible fall. They go all the way down. And that's what's going to happen to this country. And we're already seeing it. We're seeing the cracks. America, man, ain't nobody scared of America no more. Man, people used to fear America, man. They don't fear America no more. All these other nations don't fear us no more, man. We're a weak nation now. Look at our leadership. Our leadership is ridiculous. Look at what's going on inside, the internal things that are going on inside. Look what they're allowing to happen. Look what they're legislating in this country. I don't want to get in too much because I don't want YouTube, you know, they listen. They be listening for key words, and you know what I'm talking about. So I ain't gonna get into all that, but you got the gist of it. So let's get back to this. Let me see if I read a little bit more about Baruch, and then we'll get into the reading. Let me see if I can get some more about Baruch. I think I told you. I always like to tell you what tribe he come from. I think you guys got the gist of who he is. I just read a little bit of this and then we'll get into the reading. God revealed to Baruch the imminent destruction of Jerusalem and asked him to leave the city along with all other pious people. That means the heady, the high-minded people. Baruch could not understand how the name of Israel can be remembered and the promises made to Moses can come true if the temple is ruined. God explains that such an earthly building is not the one he showed to Adam before the fall and to Moses on Mount Sinai, and assure Baruch that Israel's woes will not be permanent. So that's like a little intro. So let's go ahead and get into it. Let's get into the second book of Baruch. Hold on, you guys. The second book of Baruch. All right, chapter 1. Like I said, I'm trying to break it up into 4 parts. It's 87 chapters. So try to get through these first 25 in this particular recording. But, like I said, this is a very powerful book. I think it'll be a blessing to you guys. So, just listen to the video a few times. Those that are listening, those that the Most High has drawn to my particular channel. The Lord had led me to do these particular books and to get into this. So this is just something that I'm doing. I'm being obedient, and I'm getting a lot of enjoyment out of it, and I hope you are too. And tell your friends and whoever else that you think that might, be drawn to this and get some benefit out of these books. Tell them about it too. But, don't push it on nobody, though. I don't want that, Don't push it on nobody, man. Just the ones who are really, really, the Lord is really working with them, and they're really interested in this type of information. Because, like we said, we're living in perilous time, and there's only going to be a remnant that's going to get this. A lot of our Israelites, man, they still caught up in that law of Moses, man, and I love all my brothers and sisters, man. So I ain't gonna say nothing about all that. Everybody gotta lead their heart where they want to lead their heart at, man. But I know the Most High has led my heart to the law of liberty. I'm under my big brother, man, Yahweh Shai. I go by what he said, man, because he just repeats what the Father told him, So that's why I say the law of liberty, what our big brother Yahweh Shai saw, my Lord and Savior. So I'm under him, man. That's what I'm following, But everybody's, you follow what you want to follow, man. Do what you want to do. But I know what I want to do, so that's all I'm gonna say about that. Okay, and it came to pass in the 25th year of Jehoiachin, king of Judah, that the word of the Lord came to Baruch, the son of Neriah, and said to him, Hast thou seen all that this people are doing to me? That the evils which these 2 tribes which remain have done are greater than the 10 tribes which were carried away captive. So he's talking about Judah and Benjamin. For the former tribes were forced by their kings to commit sin, but these 2 of themselves have been forcing and compelling their kings to commit sin. For this reason, behold, I will bring evil upon this city and upon its inhabitants, and it shall be removed from before me for a time. And I will scatter this people among the Gentiles, that they may do good to the Gentiles. And my people shall be chastened, and the time shall come when they will seek for the propitiation of their times. Chapter 2. For I have said these things to thee, that thou mayest bid Jeremiah and all those that are like you to retire from this city. For your works are to this city as a firm pillar, and your prayers as a strong wall. Chapter 3. And I said, O Lord, my Lord, I have come into the world for this purpose, that I might see the evils of my mother, not my Lord. If I have found grace in thy sight, this is Baruch talking, first take my spirit, that I may go to my fathers, and not behold the destruction of my mother. So he said, I want to see my people and all get, die. Just take me. For 2 things vehemently constrain me, for I cannot resist thee, and my soul, moreover, cannot behold the evils of my mother. But one thing I will say in thy presence, O Lord. What therefore will there be after these things? So he's asking him, okay, what's going to befall? What's going to happen after all this happens? For if thou destroy the city and deliver up thy land to those that hate us, how shall the name of Israel be again remembered? Or how shall one speak of thy praises? Or to whom shall that which is in thy law be explained? Or shall the world return to its nature? Aforetime, in the age revert to primal silence, and shall the multitude of souls be taken away, and the nature of man not again be named. And where is all that which thou didst say to Moses regarding us? And the Lord said unto me, this city shall be delivered up for a time, and the people shall be chastened during a time, and the world will not be given over to oblivion. See, I'm not going to destroy it. Dost thou think that this is that city of which I said, on the palms of my hand have I graven thee? This building now built in your midst is not that which is revealed with me, that which was prepared beforehand, here from the time when I took counsel to make paradise and show it to Adam before he sinned. But when he transgressed the commandments, it was removed from him, as also paradise. So y'all need to go back and look at, listen to the videos, the first book of Adam and Eve and the second book of Adam and Eve. They really go into detail about that. And after these things, I show it to my servant Abraham by night amongst the portion of the victims. And again, also I showed it to Moses on Mount Sinai, when I showed to him the likeness of the tabernacle of all its vessels. And now behold, it is preserved with me as also paradise. Go therefore and do as I command thee. And I answered and said, chapter 5. And I answered and said, so then I am destined to grieve for Zion, for thy enemies will come to this place and pollute thy sanctuary, and lead thy inheritance into captivity, and make themselves masters of those whom thou hast loved. And they will depart again to the place of their idols, and will boast before them. And what wilt thou do for thy great name? And the Lord said unto me, my name and my glory are unto all eternity, and my judgment shall maintain its right in its own time. And thou shalt see with thy eyes that the enemies will not overthrow Zion, nor shall they burn Jerusalem, but by the ministry of the judge for the time. But do thou go and do whatsoever I have said unto thee. And I went and took Jeremiah and Adu and Sariah and Jabesh and Gilead and all the honorable men of the people, and I led them to the valley of Cedron, and I narrated to them all that has been said to me. And they lifted up their voices, and they all wept. And we sat there and fasted until evening. Chapter 6. And it came to pass on the morrow that, lo, the army of the Chaldeans surrounded the city. And at the time of the evening, I, Baruch, left the people, and I went forth and stood by the oak. And I was grieved over Zion, and lamented over the captivity which had come upon the people. And lo, suddenly a strong spirit raised me, and bore me aloft over the wall of Jerusalem. And I beheld, and lo, 4 angels standing at the 4 corners of the city, each of them holding a torch of fire in his hands. And another angel began to descend from heaven, and said unto them, hold your lamps, and do not light them till I tell you. For I am first sent to speak a word to the earth, and to the place in what the Lord the Most High has commanded me. And I saw him descend into the Holy of Holies, and take from thence the veil, and the holy ark, and the mercy seat, and the 2 tables, and the holy remnant of the priests, and the altar of incense, and the 48 precious stones, wherewith the priest was adorned, and all the holy vessels of the tabernacle. And he spake to the earth with a loud voice, earth, 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 hear the word of the mighty power, and receive what I commit to thee, and guard them until the last times, so that when thou art ordered, thou mayest restore them, so that strangers may not get possession of them, For the time comes when Jerusalem also will be delivered for a time, until it is said that it again restored forever, and the earth opens its mouth and swallows them up. Chapter 7. And after these things I heard that angel saying unto those angels who held the lamps, Destroy therefore and overthrow its wall to its foundation, lest the enemy should boast and say, We have overthrown the wall of Zion, and we have burnt the places of the mighty power, and ye have seized the place where I have been standing before. Chapter 8. Now the angels did as he had commanded them, and when they had broken up the corners of the wall, a voice was heard from the interior of the temple, after the wall had fallen, saying, Enter ye enemies, and come ye adversaries, for he who kept the house have forsaken it. And I, Baruch, departed. And it came to pass after these things that the army of the Chaldeans entered and seized the house, and all that was around it, and they led the people away captive, and slew some of them, and bound Zedekiah king, and sent him to King Babylon. Chapter 9. And I, Baruch, came, and Jeremiah, whose heart was found pure from sin, and who had not been captured in the seizure of the city. And we rent our garments, and we wept, and mourned, and fasted 7 days. Chapter 10. And it came to pass after 7 days that the word of the power came to me, and said unto me, Tell Jeremiah to go and support the captivity of the people unto Babylon. But do thou remain here amid the desolation of Zion, and I will show to thee after these days what will befall at the end of days. And I said to Jeremiah, As the Lord commanded me, and he indeed departed with the people. But I, Baruch, returned and sat before the gates of the temple, and I lamented with the following lamentation over Zion, and said, Blessed is he who was not born, or he who, having been born, has died. But as for us who live, woe unto us, because we see the afflictions of Zion, and what has befallen Jeremiah. I will call the sirens from the east, from the sea. The sirens, Sirens. That's like evil spirits, like wicked devils, evil things. And yet Lilian come ye from the desert, and Shiddim, the dragons from the forest. Awake and gird up your loins unto morning, and take up with me the dirges. Dirges is like evil spirits. Dirges. The dirges. Dirges. I look up what that word means. I think that's like the good things, like the things of the tabernacle. And make lamentations with me. Ye husbandmen, sow not again. And O earth, wherefore givest thou thy harvest fruit? Keep within thee the sweets of thy substance, and thy vine, where further dost thou give thy wine. For an offering will not again be made therefore in Zion, nor will the first fruit again be offered. And do ye, O heavens, withhold your dew, and open not the treasures of rain. And do thou, O sun, withhold the light of the rays. And do thou, O moon, extinguish the multitude of thy light. For why should the light rise again, where the light of Zion is darkened? And you, ye bridegrooms, enter not in, and let not the brides adorn themselves with garlands. And ye women, pray not that ye may bear. For the barren shall above all rejoice, and those who have no sons shall be glad, and those who have sons shall be anguished. And it's going to be a terrible time. For why should ye bear in pain, only to bury in grief? Or why again should mankind have sons? Or why should the seed of their kind again be named? Where this mother is desolate, and her sons are led into captivity. From this time forward speak not of beauty, and discord not of gracefulness. Moreover, ye priests, take ye the keys of the sanctuary, and cast them into the height of heaven, and give them to the Lord, and say, Guard thy house thyself, for lo, we are found false stewards. And you, ye virgins, who weave fine linen and silk with gold of Ophir. Take with haste all these things and cast them into the fire, that it may bear them to him who made them, and the flames send them to him who created them, lest the enemy get possession of them. All right, chapter 11. Moreover, I, Baruch, say this again thee, Babylon, if thou hadst prospered, and Zion had dwelt in her glory, yet the grief to us have been great, that thou shouldest be equal to Zion. But now, lo, the grief is infinite, and the lamentations measureless. For lo, thou art prosperous in Zion desolate. Thou art prospered in Zion desolate. Who will be judged regarding these things? Or to whom shall we complain regarding that which has befallen us? O Lord, how hast thou borne it? Our fathers went to rest without grief, and lo, the righteous sleep in the earth in tranquility. For they know not this anguish, nor yet have they heard of that which had befallen us. Would that thou hadst ears, O earth, and that thou hadst a heart, O dust, that ye might go and announce and say, oh, and say to the dead, blessed are ye more than we who live. I'm going to read chapter 12, and I'm going to stop here because I think I'm past 30 minutes. So chapter 12. But I will say this as I think, and I will speak again thee, O land, which are prosperous. The noonday does not always burn, nor do the rays of the sun constantly give light. Do not expect and hope that thou wilt always be prosperous and rejoicing, and be not greatly uplifted and boastful. For surely in its own season shall the divine wrath awake against thee, which now in long suffering is held in, as it were, by rains. And when I said these things, I fasted 7 days. So I'm going to stop right there. That's kind of like an introduction to Baruch, second Baruch. So we're going to continue this with chapter 13. So like I said, you guys meditate on this. Listen to this video a couple of times. Meditate on it. And may the Most High Yahweh and His Son Yahweh Shai be a blessing to you.